Ladies and gentlemen, people often think success is about talent. Some believe it is about money. Some think it is about luck. And some spend their entire lives waiting for the perfect opportunity to arrive. But let me tell you something. Your success is not only decided by your intelligence, it is deeply connected to your behavior, the way you speak, the way you react, the way you treat people when nobody is watching, the way you carry yourself after failure, the way you behave when life becomes unfair. That is what truly shapes your future. You see, life does not always test your abilities. Sometimes life tests your character. My name is Muniba Mazari, and I am a motivational speaker. Today we will discuss this topic deeply. So watch this video till the end and also don't forget to subscribe. Let's move on the topic. People admire talent because it is visible. A talented singer captures attention with a beautiful voice. A talented athlete amazes the world with skill. A talented speaker inspires audiences with powerful words. Society often celebrates gifted individuals because talent shines brightly and quickly. But there is something far more powerful than talent, something that determines whether success lasts or disappears with time. That something is character. Talent may open doors, but character decides what happens after those doors open. A person can be intelligent, gifted, creative, or highly skilled, yet still fail in life because of poor behavior, arrogance, dishonesty, or lack of discipline. History is filled with talented people who lost respect because they could not control their ego, attitude, or actions. And at the same time, there are ordinary individuals with average abilities who achieved extraordinary success because their character earned trust, loyalty, and admiration. This is because talent impresses people temporarily, but character impacts them deeply. You see, people are not only watching what you can do, they are watching how you behave. They observe how you treat others when you gain power. They notice whether success makes you humble or arrogant. They remember whether you stay respectful during difficult moments or become cruel under pressure. Character reveals itself most clearly when life becomes uncomfortable. Anyone can appear kind when everything is going well. Anyone can smile when they are winning. But true character appears during struggle, disappointment, rejection, and failure. How a person behaves in painful moments says more about them than any achievement ever could. A talented person may know how to speak beautifully, but character determines whether their words are honest. A talented leader may know how to influence crowds, but character determines whether they use that influence wisely. A talented businessman may know how to make money, but character determines whether success comes with integrity or greed. Without character, talent becomes dangerous. And perhaps this is one of the biggest problems in today's world. Society teaches people how to become successful, but often forgets to teach them how to remain human while achieving success. Many individuals spend years developing skills while ignoring values like honesty, patience, respect, and humility. They focus on becoming admired rather than becoming trustworthy. But trust is built through character, not talent. People feel safe around those with strong character because character creates consistency. A person with integrity keeps promises even when it is difficult. A person with humility respects others regardless of status. A person with discipline continues working even when motivation disappears. These qualities create reliability, and reliability is rare in a world filled with temporary appearances. Character also shapes the relationship a person has with themselves. Someone with strong character does not depend entirely on external praise for confidence. They understand who they are even when the world ignores them. They remain grounded during success and hopeful during failure, because their identity is built on values rather than validation. Talent can create fame, but character creates peace. And peace matters more than applause. There are many people who appear successful on the outside, but feel empty within because they sacrificed their values for achievement. They chased recognition while losing honesty. They gained attention while losing compassion. They became admired publicly while struggling privately. But true success does not require losing your humanity. In fact, the most inspiring people in the world are often remembered not only for what they achieved, but for who they were as human beings. People remember kindness. People remember dignity. People remember humility. Long after achievements fade, character remains alive in the memories of others. Character also has the power to influence generations. A person with good character inspires others without forcing them. Their actions become lessons. Their integrity becomes an example. Their behavior creates trust that spreads far beyond personal success. Because at the end of life, people may forget your titles, awards, or accomplishments. But they will remember your honesty, your kindness, your attitude, and the way you treated others. Talent may make people notice you for a moment, but character gives people a reason to respect you for a lifetime. Words are easy. People can say beautiful things without truly believing them. They can promise loyalty without being loyal. They can speak about kindness while carrying bitterness inside their hearts. That is why life does not judge people only by what they say. Eventually, actions reveal the truth that words try to hide. A person's true personality is reflected through behavior, reactions, and choices made during everyday moments. The way someone treats others, handles pressure, responds to failure, or behaves when nobody is watching says far more than carefully prepared speeches ever can. Many people spend years trying to create a perfect image for the world. They want to appear successful, confident, generous, or wise. Social media makes this even easier because people can show edited versions of themselves while hiding their real attitudes. But reality cannot be hidden forever. Over time, actions expose the true nature of a person, because behavior is difficult to fake consistently. A person may pretend to be humble for a short time, but arrogance eventually appears in their treatment of others. Someone may claim to care deeply about people, yet their actions during difficult situations may reveal selfishness instead. On the other hand, a genuinely kind person continues showing compassion even when no reward exists. This is why actions matter so much. The world listens to words, but it believes actions. You can tell a person who you are all day long, but your behavior quietly tells the real story. The way you respond during moments of anger, disappointment, stress, or success becomes a mirror reflecting your inner character. In peaceful moments, almost everyone seems pleasant. But pressure reveals what truly exists inside the human heart. How do you behave when someone disagrees with you? How do you behave when life becomes unfair? How do you behave after failure? How do you behave when you finally achieve success? These moments uncover personality more honestly than comfort ever could. There is also a powerful connection between actions and emotional maturity. Mature individuals understand that emotions are temporary, but actions create lasting consequences. A careless moment of anger can damage relationships. One dishonest action can destroy trust built over years. A disrespectful attitude can close doors that talent alone could never reopen. At the same time, positive actions have incredible power. A small act of kindness can heal someone emotionally. A moment of patience can save a relationship. A respectful response during conflict can prevent unnecessary pain. People often underestimate how deeply actions affect others. Sometimes individuals forget the exact words spoken to them, but they never forget how someone's behavior made them feel. Human beings remember dignity. They remember disrespect. They remember compassion. Actions leave emotional fingerprints on the hearts of others. This is why consistency matters. True personality is not revealed through one perfect moment. It is revealed through repeated behavior over time. Anyone can act kind occasionally, but maintaining integrity, patience, honesty, and respect consistently requires genuine character. Actions also shape self-respect. Every decision people make either strengthens or weakens the relationship they have with themselves. When someone behaves dishonestly, even if nobody else notices, a part of them knows the truth. But when a person acts with integrity despite temptation or difficulty, inner confidence grows quietly. That kind of confidence is powerful because it is earned, not performed. Many people today focus heavily on appearance while ignoring behavior. They invest energy into looking successful, rather than becoming trustworthy human beings. But success built only on image eventually becomes fragile, because appearances cannot carry the weight of real life forever. Reality tests people through action, and life always creates situations where true personality becomes visible. Difficulties reveal patience or anger. Success reveals humility or pride. Failure reveals resilience or surrender. Pressure reveals discipline or chaos. The truth is, human beings are not remembered only for what they achieved. They are remembered for how they behaved while achieving it. People remember honesty in a dishonest world. They remember kindness during painful times. They remember loyalty when betrayal was easier. They remember grace under pressure. Because actions speak a language deeper than words. And whether people realize it or not, every action becomes a silent introduction to who they truly are inside. Human beings are deeply connected to one another. No matter how independent people try to appear, life is built on relationships. Families, Friendships, workplaces, communities, and even brief encounters with strangers shape the emotional experience of being human. Success itself often depends not only on talent or intelligence, but also on the quality of relationships a person builds throughout life. And at the center of every strong relationship are two powerful qualities: respect and kindness. Respect is one of the purest forms of human value. It means recognizing the dignity of another person, regardless of their status, wealth, appearance, or background. Respect is shown in simple things: listening carefully, speaking politely, valuing someone's feelings, and treating people with fairness even when disagreement exists. Kindness, on the other hand, is the warmth that makes relationships feel safe and meaningful. It is the ability to make another person feel seen, valued, and understood. Kindness does not require money or extraordinary talent. Sometimes it exists in a smile, a patient response, a helping hand, or gentle words spoken during someone's difficult moment. People often underestimate how deeply these qualities affect human connections. In today's world, many individuals are chasing success so aggressively that they forget the importance of human behavior. They focus on achievements while neglecting relationships. They become impatient, rude, or emotionally distant because they believe results matter more than people. But success without healthy relationships often becomes lonely and emotionally empty. Because no matter how successful a person becomes, human beings still need respect, connection, and compassion. Relationships cannot survive where respect disappears. Once people feel insulted, ignored, or constantly disrespected, emotional distance begins growing quietly. Trust weakens. Communication becomes painful. Even strong relationships can collapse when respect is repeatedly damaged. At the same time, kindness has the power to heal emotional wounds that words alone cannot fix. A kind person creates comfort in difficult moments. They know how to listen without judgment. They understand that everyone is carrying invisible struggles. Their presence makes others feel emotionally lighter instead of emotionally exhausted. And perhaps this is why people never forget how someone treated them. Years later, individuals may not remember every conversation or achievement, but they remember dignity. They remember compassion during painful moments. They remember the people who stayed respectful when life became stressful. Respect and kindness also create trust, and trust is one of the strongest foundations of lasting relationships. People naturally feel safer around those who behave with honesty, patience, and empathy. They open their hearts more easily because they know they will not be humiliated or mistreated. Trust cannot be forced. It is earned through consistent behavior. A respectful person gains loyalty because others feel valued around them. A kind person attracts meaningful relationships because kindness creates emotional security. Human beings naturally move closer to people who make them feel respected and appreciated. There is also strength hidden inside kindness that many people fail to recognize. Society sometimes mistakes kindness for weakness, but truly kind people are often emotionally strong. It takes patience to remain respectful during conflict. It takes maturity to respond gently when anger feels easier. It takes self-control to choose compassion instead of cruelty. Anyone can be harsh. Anyone can insult others. Anyone can spread negativity. But maintaining kindness in a difficult world requires real inner strength. Respect also reflects emotional intelligence. Mature individuals understand that every person deserves dignity, even when opinions differ. They know disagreement does not justify disrespect. This mindset creates healthier relationships because people feel heard rather than attacked. In families, respect strengthens love. In friendships, kindness strengthens trust. In workplaces, dignity strengthens teamwork. In society, compassion strengthens humanity itself. Small acts of kindness may seem insignificant in the moment, but they often leave permanent emotional impact. A supportive conversation can save someone from hopelessness. A respectful attitude can inspire confidence in another person. A little empathy can change the direction of someone's entire day. This is the hidden power of human behavior. People may admire intelligence, wealth, or talent, but they are emotionally drawn toward kindness and respect. These qualities create connections deeper than success alone ever could. Because at the end of life, relationships are not remembered for perfection. They are remembered for how people treated one another through both beautiful and painful moments. And the strongest relationships are almost always built on simple human qualities that never lose value: respect, kindness, patience, and genuine care for others. People often look at successful individuals and assume greatness appeared suddenly. They see the achievement, the recognition, the confidence, and the results, But they do not see the countless ordinary days that came before it. They do not see the quiet mornings, the repeated effort, the discipline during difficult moments, or the small decisions made consistently over time. The truth is, success is rarely built through one dramatic moment. It is built through daily behavior. Every day, people make choices that slowly shape the direction of their lives. Some choices seem small and unimportant in the moment. Waking up early, staying focused, keeping promises, managing time wisely, speaking positively, or continuing to work when motivation disappears. But repeated daily actions become habits, and habits eventually become a person's future. This is why behavior matters more than temporary motivation. Motivation changes constantly. Some days people feel inspired, energetic, and ready to conquer the world. Other days they feel exhausted, discouraged, and emotionally drained. If success depended only on motivation, most dreams would disappear quickly. But disciplined daily behavior allows people to continue moving forward even when emotions become unstable. Successful individuals are not always the most talented people in the room. Often, they are simply the people who remained consistent longer than others. They continued practicing when others quit. They stayed patient when progress felt slow. They repeated small positive behaviors until those behaviors created extraordinary results. Because greatness is usually hidden inside repetition. A person does not become healthy by exercising once. A student does not become knowledgeable by studying one night. A business does not grow through one good decision. A strong character is not built in a single moment. Everything meaningful in life grows through consistent behavior repeated day after day. This can feel frustrating because human beings naturally desire quick results. People want success immediately. They want visible progress fast enough to satisfy their emotions. But life often rewards patience more than urgency. Small disciplined actions may not seem powerful today, but over months and years they completely transform lives. Daily behavior also shapes mindset. Someone who constantly procrastinates slowly trains their mind to avoid responsibility. A person who repeatedly complains strengthens negativity inside themselves. On the other hand, individuals who practice discipline, gratitude, focus, and persistence strengthen emotional resilience over time. The human mind adapts to repeated behavior. If people repeatedly choose excuses, excuses become natural. If people repeatedly choose effort, effort becomes natural. This is why habits are so powerful. Daily actions eventually become automatic patterns that either support success or destroy potential. Many people fail not because they lack ability, but because their daily behavior silently works against their goals. And perhaps this is one of the hardest truths to accept. Dreams alone are not enough. A person may want success deeply, but if their daily behavior lacks discipline, focus, and consistency, the dream remains imagination instead of reality. Success requires alignment between goals and behavior. What people repeatedly do matters far more than what they occasionally say they want. There is also something deeply beautiful about the simplicity of daily progress. Success does not always require dramatic change overnight. Sometimes it begins with one disciplined morning, one productive hour, one respectful conversation, one decision to continue instead of quitting. Small behaviors create momentum, and momentum changes lives. People often underestimate the power of consistency because results appear slowly in the beginning. Improvement feels invisible at first. But eventually, disciplined behavior compounds quietly until progress becomes undeniable. The person who once struggled develops confidence. The person who once lacked skill becomes experienced. The person who once doubted themselves becomes capable through repeated effort. This is why successful people protect their daily routines carefully. They understand that behavior creates identity. Every repeated action becomes evidence of who a person is becoming. Someone who reads daily becomes knowledgeable. Someone who practices daily becomes skilled. Someone who behaves with discipline daily becomes reliable and strong. Success is not a mystery reserved for a lucky few. In many ways, it is the natural result of repeated behavior aligned with meaningful goals. And perhaps that is empowering, because it means life is not shaped only by talent, luck, or circumstances. It is also shaped by the small choices people make every single day, especially on the days when nobody is watching and nothing feels easy. Because in the end, extraordinary success is often built through ordinary behavior repeated with consistency, patience, and purpose. The human mind is constantly shaped by behavior. Every action, reaction, habit, and attitude slowly influences the way a person thinks, feels, and responds to life. Many people believe mindset is something separate from behavior, but in reality, The two are deeply connected. The way people behave every day directly affects the strength, clarity, and emotional stability of their minds. A positive mindset does not appear magically overnight. It is built gradually through repeated positive behavior. The way someone speaks to others, handles failure, responds to stress, or reacts to disappointment all create patterns inside the mind. Over time, these patterns become emotional habits. A person who constantly complains trains their mind to focus on negativity. Someone who always blames others slowly loses the ability to grow because responsibility disappears from their thinking. Negative behavior strengthens negative thinking until pessimism begins feeling normal. But positive behavior works differently. When people practice patience, gratitude, discipline, kindness, and self-control, they strengthen emotional resilience from within. These behaviors create a healthier mental environment where confidence and hope can survive even during difficult times. For example, gratitude changes the way the mind sees life. A grateful person still experiences pain, failure, and challenges, but they also notice blessings others ignore. Instead of focusing only on what is missing, they appreciate what still remains. This behavior slowly trains the brain to search for hope instead of hopelessness. The same is true for discipline. Every time a person wakes up early to work on their goals despite feeling tired, they strengthen self-respect. Every time they continue after failure instead of quitting, they teach their mind resilience. These repeated actions create inner confidence because the mind begins trusting the person's ability to survive challenges. Confidence is not built only through success. It is built through positive behavior during struggle. People often wait to feel motivated before acting positively, but behavior actually creates emotion more often than emotion creates behavior. Someone who chooses productive actions despite low motivation usually feels stronger afterward. A person who behaves with courage during fear gradually becomes mentally stronger over time. This is why mindset cannot improve while behavior remains toxic. A person cannot constantly spread negativity, avoid responsibility, disrespect others, and feed unhealthy habits while expecting emotional peace. The mind absorbs repeated behavior like soil absorbs water. Whatever people consistently practice emotionally eventually grows inside them. There is also a strong connection between positive behavior and emotional control. Life constantly presents stressful situations: criticism, rejection, disappointment, conflict, uncertainty. No human being escapes difficulty. But positive behavior helps people respond wisely instead of reacting impulsively. An emotionally strong person is not someone who never feels pain or anger. It is someone who chooses constructive behavior despite painful emotions. That requires maturity. Anyone can lose control during stress. Anyone can become bitter after failure. Anyone can react with anger when hurt. But behaving with patience, dignity, and calmness during difficult moments strengthens the mind tremendously. It teaches emotional balance. It creates stability. It prevents temporary emotions from controlling permanent decisions. Positive behavior also affects the way people see themselves. Someone who consistently acts with honesty, discipline, and kindness develops inner peace because their actions align with their values. This creates a quiet form of confidence that does not depend entirely on external praise. People with strong mindsets often protect their behavior carefully because they understand behavior shapes identity. A disciplined person begins seeing themselves as disciplined. A respectful person develops self-respect. A resilient person starts believing in their ability to overcome hardship. Identity grows from repeated actions. And perhaps this is why small positive habits matter more than people realize. Smiling during stress, speaking kindly, staying organized, exercising regularly, avoiding unnecessary negativity, controlling reactions, and focusing on solutions instead of complaints may seem simple. But together they transform mental strength over time. The human mind becomes stronger when behavior supports growth instead of self-destruction. This does not mean positive people never struggle emotionally. They still experience sadness, fear, exhaustion, and uncertainty. But positive behavior helps them recover faster because their mindset is built on healthier emotional foundations. They know how to continue after setbacks. They know how to stay hopeful during storms. They know how to protect their peace without surrendering to negativity. And that is powerful because life will always test the human mind. Challenges are unavoidable. Pain is part of being human. But positive behavior gives people the emotional strength to survive those moments without losing themselves completely. In many ways, behavior becomes the training ground where strong mindsets are created. One thought, one habit, and one choice at a time. The world often defines success through money, fame, power, and status. People admire expensive lifestyles, large businesses, luxury cars, and social recognition. Society constantly teaches individuals to chase achievement, to become better than others, to win at all costs. And while ambition itself is not wrong, many people lose something important while running towards success: their humanity. True success is not only about how much a person earns. It is also about who they become while earning it. A person may achieve financial success, yet treat others with cruelty. Someone may gain power while losing honesty. Another may become famous while feeling emotionally empty inside. From the outside, these individuals may appear successful, but deep down something important is missing. Because success without humanity eventually becomes hollow. Humanity is reflected in compassion, kindness, empathy, honesty, humility, and respect for others. These qualities do not always receive public attention the way wealth or fame does, but they are what give success meaning. Without them, achievement can become cold and self-centered. You see, people may admire successful individuals temporarily, but they truly respect those who remain human despite success. It is easy to stay humble when life is difficult. The real challenge begins when power, money, and recognition enter a person's life. Success has a strange way of testing character. Some people become arrogant after achieving their goals. They begin looking down on others. They forget the struggles that once shaped them. They become so focused on personal gain that they stop caring about the feelings and struggles of people around them. But truly successful people behave differently. They understand that success is not meant to remove humanity. It is meant to strengthen responsibility. They use influence to help others instead of humiliating them. They remain respectful toward people regardless of social status. They remember their roots even after reaching great heights. And that kind of success leaves a lasting impact. Because at the end of life, people are not remembered only for their achievements. They are remembered for how they treated others while achieving them. Human beings remember kindness far longer than luxury. They remember generosity far longer than titles. A compassionate person brings peace into the lives of others. A humble person makes success feel inspiring rather than intimidating. A kind person creates emotional safety wherever they go. These qualities matter deeply because the world already contains enough harshness, competition, and emotional pain. Humanity is what softens life. It is what reminds people that success should not come at the cost of dignity and compassion. There is also a powerful emotional truth hidden inside humanity. Helping others often creates deeper fulfillment than personal achievement alone. Many people spend years chasing goals believing success will finally make them feel complete. They imagine happiness waiting at the top of some mountain of achievement. But when they finally arrive, they sometimes discover emptiness because external success cannot replace inner peace. Inner peace often grows through connection, compassion, and meaningful contribution. The ability to support others, inspire hope, show kindness, and remain emotionally present creates a sense of fulfillment that money alone cannot buy. Human beings are not designed only to achieve, they are also designed to connect. This is why truly successful individuals often carry warmth in their presence. They make people feel valued instead of inferior. They listen with respect. They encourage rather than discourage. Their success becomes a source of inspiration instead of fear or arrogance. Humanity also matters because everyone is fighting invisible battles. Every person carries pain the world may never fully understand. Some are struggling emotionally. Others are dealing with loss, rejection, loneliness, or fear. A little kindness during these moments can change someone's entire emotional state. And successful people have the power to influence many lives. A leader with humanity creates healthy environments. A teacher with compassion changes students forever. A business person with integrity builds trust. A public figure with humility inspires genuine respect. This is why humanity should never be separated from success. Achievement without compassion may impress the world, but it rarely touches hearts deeply. True greatness is not measured only by how high someone rises. It is measured by whether they still care about people after reaching the top. Because the most successful human beings are not always the richest or the most famous. Often they are simply the people whose presence leaves others feeling respected, valued, encouraged, and emotionally uplifted. And in the end, that kind of success becomes timeless.